Hi guys, it's Jessie here from Black Cats and Cards, and I just thought that I would hop on here and do another kind of video that I actually really like watching. I guess my channel is just going to be a smattering of me recreating videos that I actually watch. So this is going to be a May reading wrap up and my June TBR. TBR is to be read for anybody that didn't know. So yeah, I'm just going to start. I just have my Goodreads app open here. I'll link my Goodreads account down below if you want to be friends. So I'm just gonna jump right in. So the first book that I finished in May was Children of Blood and Bone by, I'm gonna butcher all of these names just so all of you know, by Tomi Adeyemi. I rated it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I actually knew when I started it that it was going to be a series, and when I was reading it there was the point in the middle that I wasn't sure that I was going to actually finish the book, but I did, and I obviously loved it, and I am very much looking forward to reading the next one, which doesn't come out until December, I believe. And the reason I'm not holding it up here is because I got it out from the library, but I will insert a photo here. So hopefully that's what you're looking at. And that's going to be the case for a lot of books in this video, because I listen to a lot of my books and I get a lot of my books from the library, so I don't actually have them here. But next month should be different because I'm trying to read through my bookcase, my bookshelf, whatever. Alright, moving on. The next book that I finished was The Witch's Daughter, which I listened to on my library's website, I believe. Or the app, Libby. It's by Paula Braxton. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. I wasn't super thrilled with it. Like it was a cute read. I did not enjoy it. It's another one that I started, didn't know that it was going to be a series, I believe it is. Let me just check in. Yeah, it is a series. I will not be continuing in the series. I liked it as a standalone. The characters I felt were like a little bit underdeveloped, and things were unrealistic. I know it's silly to say for a book like this, but I wanted more from it, is what I'm really trying to say. Next book that I finished was, oh my gosh, things are refreshing. The next book that I finished was Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Gan. I don't know how to say her last name, but it'll be in the little image of the actual book title, book cover thing here. That one I gave 5 stars on Goodreads, and it is one that I took out from my local library, so I do not have it here. It was really good. I didn't expect some of the things that were coming in that story. I knew that it had some LGBT elements in it, which I really, really enjoyed. I would definitely recommend it. It is YA. I suppose I should tell you guys which ones are YA, which ones aren't. Children of Blood and Bone is YA. The Witch's Daughter is adult. Girls of Paper and Fire is YA. Yeah, so that's that one. In these little like wrap-ups, I don't really want to get too far into the story, unless you guys want me to. I can give like little descriptions of what the book's about, but for the most part I'm just going to tell you like what I thought and my rating, and then move on. I might give a little bit more like in my TBR part of this, like, and then as time goes on it'll make sense, I hope. The Recipe Box by Viola Shipman is the next book that I finished, and let me tell you, for something that is considered a fluff read, I cried. I cried listening to this book. It is one that I listened to as an audiobook on the app Scribed, however it's said. I listened to it on there, and I think just like a lot of the story really hit home for me. I listen to my audiobooks on my way to and from work. I walk, so it's about 40 minutes of listening time on the way to and then on the way from. But I just loved like how full of heart the story was. Even though it was very predictable, it was very like fluffy, if you will. I loved it all the same. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, and I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're somebody who loves baking, and if you're somebody that has baked with your family. You're gonna like it. I hope. If you read it and you don't like it, I'm really sorry. But yeah, I loved it. I'm trying to get my family to read it. So, Mom, if you're watching, read the recipe box. Love you. Okay, moving on. The next book, I'm actually filming this a week out from the end of May, so I have not currently finished this yet, but I will. Is The Storm Sister by Lucinda Riley. This is the second book in the Seven Sisters series. I read the first one last month, I believe. Let me just make sure I'm telling the truth here. Yes. I read it between March and April. They are quite thick books, like, I'm not joking around here, but it's not like a super deep read. It's not something that I feel takes too much of my emotional capacity or like takes too much of my brain power to really read. It's enjoyable. Her writing really does kind of like take you away to the setting. I love how she describes like Atlantis, where they live with their father. Yeah, this is the second book though. Not all of the girls, but a bunch of us from where I work are actually reading the series. So we're all kind of talking about it at work, and everybody's really desperate for me to finish it. So I will definitely be finishing that before the end of May so that I can borrow the third book from my boss. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far, and for those of you that haven't read the first book or don't know anything about the series, it is one that goes back and forth in time, so it focuses on a main character in the now, and then it goes back in time to a relative from the past. It's really interesting the way that she does it, and it's not jarring, which I really like. So yeah, I would recommend it. It's another one that I would maybe consider like a fluffy read, but as my boss would put it, like, you don't feel dumber for having read it. So I really like that. And a lot of the facts that are in it are true. So it is well researched. There's a sculptor in the first book, and that is a real person. It is a person that really existed. He really was a sculptor, and he did sculpture in question. So that was a lot of words for something really simple. Okay, moving on to this little one. So this is meditation, a little bit of meditation, an introduction to mindfulness by Amy Lee Mercury. I am so sorry. I'm not good at pronouncing names. This has been really nice to just kind of carry around with me in my little day-to-day backpack. It has a lot of information and just like meditation throughout history, how it's being used today. Like just like the title says, it's just a little bit about meditation. It's been really nice to just kind of pull out and read when I'm like sitting in a waiting room or sitting waiting for a bus, if I'm not listening to an audiobook, or I recently went grocery shopping while I was waiting for my husband to do a 5K run, and I like read that in the park before I went and grabbed all the groceries. So that was really nice. Okay. And then I guess I'm gonna do like a little in the middle here. I have been reading it in May, but I'm also going to read it in June. There's this Italian witchcraft book by Raven Grimassi. Yeah. This is not like a hugely thick book, but it is a large book. This one I bought from a local crystal shop just because I wanted to look a little bit more into like the history of witchcraft in my own heritage or my own roots. I know that I do have family that was from Italy, so I wanted to delve a little bit into that and learn more. I'm all about the learning. Another book that I will be continuing to read into June, I can't show you because this is going to sound ridiculous, but my setup is ridiculous. Okay, I have a stack of books on the floor behind my camera, so like behind you guys. Sorry if you can hear the sirens outside. Okay, yeah, it's gone. So yeah, I have a stack of books behind my camera, which has a mirror on it so that I can see the back of my camera to make sure that things are in frame and sort of in focus. I guess if I wanted to see if it was in focus, I'd have to wear my glasses. But that's not going to happen. So the book that I'm talking about is actually the book that's on the very bottom of the stack, so I'm not about to disturb all of that. But it is the Holistic Tarot by Bennabelle Wen, and I will be continuing to read that in June. I don't expect to finish it in June because that is a massive book, and I have a lot on my plate for June reading-wise. So let's get into that. Okay, so I actually wrote in my bullet, wow, you can't read that at all, in my bullet journal, just my June TBR in physical books and in audiobooks. So we'll just get started. I'm going to start with the physical books and then I'll move into the audiobooks and talk a little bit about them. So the first book on my TBR for June is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. One of my favorite authors of all time. I loved the Darker Shade of Magic series. Loved, oh my gosh, I can't think of the title of it right now. Basically everything that I've read of hers, I absolutely loved. And I love reading her tweets on Twitter as well. So that's awesome. This is the second book. The first one is called Vicious, I believe. Yes, Vicious. I read it last year and absolutely loved it. Was very excited for this to come out, and I actually snagged the last copy of the Indigo exclusive book, which is, signed by the author. I got this on Boxing Day at the Eaton Center. This was the very last copy on the table, and I was about to leave the store when I saw it, and I was like, nope, I'm headed back into the line. I need this book in my life. So I stood in line again, and I still haven't read it, and it's the end of May. So, but I have it, so that's what's important. I'm not going to tell you anything about this because it is a sequel and I don't want to spoil anything in the first book, but if you haven't read it, absolutely read it. Read the first book, please. So that is number one for physical books. And then moving on, Gingerbread by Helen Oyeyemi. I did own the book What is Not Yours is Not Yours. I did own that, and I did own Boy Snow Bird at one point, but I didn't make it all the way through What is Not Yours is Not Yours, and I never read Boy Snow Bird, and I can't find them. So apparently I won't be reading them anytime soon. But this book I picked up because I bake a lot of gingerbread. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into that, but yeah, I got this because I want to read it based on the title, and I want people at work to read it. So this is going to be one that I share. I actually don't really know anything about this, and I don't really want to going into it. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this. I really like the cover. I hope that this delivers a good story. I haven't seen the best reviews for it going around, so I'm a little bit nervous. Next, got like tarot cards stuck in the middle of there. Interesting. The next book is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. It is a big one. Ew. Random hairs, gross. It still has a sticker on it from wherever I bought it. Got this for $13.50. Where? I'm not really sure. I don't recognize the sticker. This is a historical fiction novel, though. It is, I believe, based in World War II. From what I remember about this, it is a story that focuses on two sisters and their different experiences during World War II. I haven't heard a ton about the actual content of the book, but I have heard that a lot of people really love it, so I am excited to read this. I do enjoy historical fiction, so I'm really hoping that I enjoy this one. And last, in my physical books, but absolutely not least, in size or anything else, Priory of the Orange Tree. And I might be saying that wrong. I'm sorry if I am. By Samantha Shannon. So this book, wow. It's heavy, so I'm probably maybe not going to hold it up the whole time, but maybe I am. This one, I actually followed the author on Twitter long before this was published, and I read her tweets while she was writing this, which made me want to read it even more because I don't know, I liked seeing kind of behind the scenes, the process, like all of that kind of stuff. Wow, my arm's getting tired. I don't know a whole lot about this. I know that it is a fantasy. I'll just read like a little bit of the inside book jacket cover here. Like just the teeniest bit. A world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. So I'm very excited to get into this. My husband and I both want to read this actually. I'm definitely going to read it first because he takes forever to read things sometimes. So I'm going to try and get through this June. I will definitely let you know what I think. Highly anticipated though. So that is that one. And I think I just got that last month as well. I got that and the Gingerbread book at the same time. Okay, so other books that I am going to be reading in June, there are audiobooks. And let me just open up the app here so that I can tell you a little bit about the books. I totally forgot to tell you guys about a book that I'm going to finish in May. My bad. I'm currently listening to Dear Mr. Knightley by Catherine Ray, and I'm really liking it so far. It is about a girl who grows up in a like an orphanage, a group home. I don't know what to call it, but she is, I believe she's 23 and she's going away to college, and this guy foundation pays for her tuition and all of that, and the only thing that she has to do in exchange is to send this Mr. Knightley letters about her progress and all of that. She won't receive any return letters. She just has to keep sending these letters, and I'm about 2 hours into the book, and I'm really liking it. I'm very curious to see where it goes. So I will definitely try to update on that in my next reading video if I remember. If not, check on Goodreads and I'll probably have a review up. But in June, I will be listening to The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I don't know how to say it. I will put it here. You can see it on the book cover. This is a book about a 30-year-old who has Asperger's, and she basically, I believe she starts to approach love as like a math problem or something like that. I don't want to learn too much about this book before I read it because I don't want to give anything away. I guess that's kind of how I approach a lot of the books that I read, but that one I'm excited to listen to. And then When Diplomat Rishi by Sandia Menon. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay, so this one is about two Indian, I don't want to say kids, but I don't know how old they're supposed to be. It doesn't say. But it's about two Indian people who sign up for the same summer program, and their families, their parents, whatever, they had intended on arranging their marriage. So I believe they tell them before they go to the summer program that they are their like intended spouses, and things unfold from there. I'm super excited to read that one. I had actually planned to read it last year, I believe. Last year or the year before, and I never got around to it, and so I'm really excited to actually get around to it now. Yeah, so that is that one, and then I have one more that I'm reading this month, listening to, and then I have another like on my radar if I do finish the other ones. So the last book that is on my TBR for audiobooks is The Hope Chest by Viola Shipman. I will put it here like all the other ones. I liked the recipe book so much that I decided that I wanted to read another Viola Shipman book. And The Hope Chest really piqued my interest because I remember as a kid my Nana always talking about hope chests and how I should have one and all that kind of thing. And when I read a little bit more into the description of the book, I did discover that the book actually has a character who was diagnosed with ALS, which piqued my interest even more. So I'm very excited to get into that one. And I know that the author of these books pulls inspiration from their own family, and I find that very interesting. And I think that's why the characters have such like a depth to them. You can really feel that they're based on or inspired by real people, and you can kind of really get to know them. I hope that makes sense. But I'm really hoping that I enjoy this one as much as I did the recipe box. Yeah, and I think that's... Let me just checking the floor all over the place here. I think that's it. If I do end up reading more in June, then I will definitely update you guys in my June wrap-up and July, my July TBR. Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, let me know what you guys are reading this June. I'm always looking for recommendations and that kind of thing. If you had a favorite book that you read in May, let me know in the comments. I definitely get back to all of them because there aren't that many now. Yet. Yeah, so I hope that you guys have a good day, week, month, year. Love and light. Bye.